Hi everyone. So today we are gonna be solving the little challenge that I gave you. So as you can see, I've already opened my IDE, and your challenge was effectively to create a couple of names. So if I'm gonna write some comments over here, create a couple of students, give them favorite subjects, and print them to the console. The second one challenge was to compare few different strings, whether they are equal. And the third one was check whether hash code hash1 and hash2 are equal. So our values are equal. Okay, so let's jump and dive right into it. So firstly, what I'm gonna just do is I'm gonna delete all of this, and let's start with our first task. So I'm just gonna maybe do this 1, 2, just so we can effectively take a look at them later on. 3. Okay. So let's firstly dive right into the first task. So task 1. Create a couple of students. So string student name 1, and we can give them, for example, John Lake. String student name 2, and we can give them, for example, I don't know, Brittany Lake string 3 student name 3. Actually, you know what? We can do student 3 first name. Why not? Just so it give us a bit of training as well. I'm gonna call it Adam string student 3 last name, and we give it, for example, black. Okay, so well, actually, let's make it equal. So we're gonna have student 4 name, and let's call it also Brittany Violet. Why not? I'm really bad at coming up with the names. Okay, so imagine this is the data that we've been given, and we need to print effectively. So this is effectively done. So create a couple of students. Done. Now the next thing is give them favorite subjects and print them to the console. So let's firstly, we can do two ways. We can either create some subjects, or we can just effectively do system.out and add it. So let's firstly do the in a way that we don't have any subjects, and let's say put student name 1 plus likes English subject the most. If you print this, so if you run this, it should print John likes like English subjects the most. Perfect. Okay, let's do the second way. So let's create subject 1. So string subject 1, and then let's put English. Then do the same thing, maths, IT, and maybe psychology, why not? Mathematics, IT, and psychology, why not? By the way, this is not the best way to do this way, but once we're gonna start touching about lists and arrays, we will kind of figure out how to create it in much better way. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the second one. So now we're gonna say that student name 2 plus likes, and then we're gonna make space over here, and then we're gonna write subject 2 the most. Okay, so over here we put in the first name, so whatever our student 2 name is. Then we have empty space because otherwise it's gonna put the Brittany Lake, and then without any space after Lake, it's gonna put mathematics together, and we don't want that. And you would say likes mathematics the most. Then let's do the third one. The third one is a bit more complicated because we have student 3 first name and the last name. So let's do this. So first you're gonna put the first name, then we're gonna create an empty space because those are two without any spaces. We could effectively just put over here before the black empty space or after Adam, and this would allow us not to put it this way, but I would not advise this, because whatever we can use this Adam in the future for anything, and then we're always going to have an empty space, and if someone forgets about it, it's a big of a problem. So we're going to make an empty space for us, and then we're just going to put student free last name, and then plus, and then likes, give him psychology maybe, subject for the most. If I run this, it's gonna give us John Lake likes English subject the most, Brittany Lake likes mathematics the most, Adam Black likes psychology the most. Okay, and we can also do obviously cap of name. So let's just say student for name plus and make an empty space as well, and let's put say student one, this one, both like, and then put let's say subject 3 and subject and subject 1. Let's put space equally like this. Now what we're going to say is student for name, which stands for Brittany Violet and John Lake, both like IT and English equally. If it's run this right now, it's gonna tell us Brittany Violet and John Lake both like IT and English equally. So this is kind of comes with experience and effectively being very confident using concatenation. So you just effectively just make a lot of spaces and effectively feel very comfortable with it. So that's our first task. Let's talk about the second. Compare a few different strings, whether they are equal or not. So let's just, I'm gonna leave this on the top and let's just write task 2. So string 1, name 1, and then let's just call it, let's do this actually. 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna put 2, 3, and 4. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it like this. L, E, and then X, okay? So if we're gonna print those out, so we're gonna have name 1 hash code plus, no, we're gonna have to do plus an empty space plus, actually just do it this way, it's gonna be easier. 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. If you're gonna print those, I'm just going to quickly comment these ones out so they don't get printed. We don't want to print them because we just kind of wanna see only the hash codes in our console. So we have different hash codes. They're very similar over here, but they are all different. Good. How do we check whether strings are effectively equal or not? So in this case, what we can do, if you remember, firstly, we need to compare them either through the capital case or through the lowercase, because all of those strings have to be equal to the same value. Now, what we're gonna do is first, obviously, you're gonna put name 1 to lowercase. We can put like this, but we cannot check name 2. We cannot put equals equals name 2, because that's not gonna give us the correct answer. This will just give us false. So what we can do instead is we can put another dot, which allows us to put equals, so we can effectively combine those. So what this first one does is like, okay, firstly name 1. So this is Alex with capital A. What am I supposed to do? Firstly, I make it lower. Okay, so now our name 1 is called Alex with a small letters. What am I supposed to do next? Let's do equals. So we are checking against something else. And then we can put name 2 to lowercase as well. So if we can run this right now, those two gonna be equal. Now we can do effectively all of them like that. So we can check this string name 3. So we can do name 3 and name 4. And then we can compare 2 and on 4 or 3, it doesn't matter. Reason why this would work is because if you check the first one and the second one and they both equal, and then you check the third one and the fourth one and they're both equal, if one of those, so like either 1 or 2 is equal with 3 or 4, they're both gonna be equal. They're all gonna be equal. So you can run this effectively, and this will tell us, oh, true. If you're interested already into loops and you kind of want to go ahead and jump way ahead, you could go and already to a Java docs and look how the effectively loops work, and then try to create a for loop, for example, and then check whether each one of them correctly. But I prefer to do them once we're gonna cover the lists and arrays, because it's gonna be much easier to do this. Okay, so this is effectively our second task done. Now check whether hash1 and hash2 are equal. So let's task 3. So string hash1, and let's just give the name. So let's say name, and then we can string 2 hash2, and then we can put name. I mean, we have to put the name as well over here. Okay, let me just comment this one out. By the way, in order to make comment out much larger, we do slash and then asterisk, and then we have to do asterisk and slash at the end. So this will effectively just gives those two values. This is the start of commenting, and this is the end, and we can comment literally pretty much everything that we want. Just remember that whenever you comment something out, you cannot use it. So we have hash1 and hash2. If we are going to print hash1, and we're also going to print hash2. Okay, I forgot to put the hash code. Okay, so if we're going to run this, it's going to tell us the values. References are perfectly the same. But let's go a bit further than that. What we could do is we could write hash1 is equal to hash2, which will also tell us true, which is kind of what we want. But I want to do something different. Instead of writing hash1 and hash2, which in theory, we don't really know what it actually checks. Okay, so we kind of know it's a hash code, but we cannot 100% be sure of this. So instead, it would be easier for us to write hash code over here and hash code over here. So this one, what right now we will do is we'll change hash1 to just use this hash code. So you will just represent this value is equal to, and then hash2 this value. So this will also run true for us, which is much more robust method, because this way we 100% sure it checks the hash code against the hash code. It has to, because we specified that this one just returns the hash code. It just returns this 337 value. So we know that this is the value. But if you realize when I try to do this part, so like this, it gave me an error. And the reason for that is because you cannot apply int and string. So this value, when we made it to a hash code, we've made it an int. It's an integer. Well, this one is still a string. So we cannot check it this way. So this is why we have to type hash code. And now they are both ints, and they just check whether the value 1 is equal to value 2. So that's pretty much it what we're going to cover today, and we finished. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video where we're going to be covering classes and methods. And after that, we'll jump right into doing maths, and you're going to have another very big challenge with this one. So thank you for watching. This was Ansky, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.